$100 billion bet on compute, Microsoft opens Copilot to more models, Meta launches an AI video feed, a landmark copyright settlement advances, DeepMind pushes robots, Anthropic hires big outside the US, and the UAE courts OpenAI. Here's what matters and what you can do with it. Let's start with the money and the machines. Nvidia says it will invest up to $100 billion in OpenAI and supply next-gen data center systems. The structure is two-part, non-voting equity from Nvidia and chip purchases by OpenAI, with the first $10 billion kicking in once a definitive agreement is signed. Deployments target late 2026 on the Vera Rubin platform, scaling to at least 10 gigawatts of compute. Translation: the arms race for training power isn't slowing, it's institutionalizing. For developers and startups, expect shorter waitlists but also more concentration around Nvidia hardware. Keep an eye on antitrust scrutiny and delivery timelines, nothing ships overnight at this scale. Enterprise users got a notable shift from Microsoft. The company is adding Anthropic's Claude models, Sonnet and Opus options, to Microsoft 365 Copilot and Copilot Studio. That means organizations can choose the model best suited for a task, not just default to OpenAI. It's a practical move toward a multi-model world where accuracy, latency, safety settings, and cost vary by provider. If you manage AI in a company, pilot the same prompt set across models, measure output quality and review effort, and lock in guardrails before broad rollout. On the consumer side, Meta launched Vibes, an AI-generated short video feed inside the Meta AI app and on the web. You can create from scratch, remix clips, add visuals and music, and cross-post to Instagram or Facebook. This is Meta trying to turn generative video into a social surface, not just a tool. Expect lots of novelty and also the usual moderation challenges. If you try it, treat it like a sandbox, keep originals, label AI outputs, and remember that fast-moving feeds are ruthless on quality. Big legal step. A US judge preliminarily approved a $1.5 billion settlement between Anthropic and a class of authors who alleged copyright infringement. It's not final, formal notice and objections come next, but it's the first major case of its kind to clear this hurdle. Two takeaways. First, compensation frameworks for training data are getting real. Second, other AI firms now have a reference point for potential exposure. If you publish or run a content business, track what this implies for opt-outs, licensing portals, and audit trails. Meanwhile, DeepMind pushed AI further into the physical world with Gemini Robotics 1.5, combining embodied reasoning and vision language action models. The goal is more reliable multi-step execution for tasks like picking, placing, and tool use. For viewers, the practical angle isn't home robots tomorrow. It's better automation in warehouses, labs, and factories that later trickles down. If you build products, watch for SDKs, safety benchmarks, and demo reproducibility beyond research videos. Anthropic also announced a hiring surge, tripling its international workforce and expanding applied AI roles across Europe and Asia. The company says most Claude usage is now outside the US, and run rate revenue climbed sharply this year. The pattern is clear: model access and enterprise deployments are globalizing fast. If you're outside the US, this is a good moment to ask vendors about regional data handling, latency, and support footprints. And on the geopolitics of AI, the UAE's president met with OpenAI's Sam Altman to explore collaboration and an integrated AI ecosystem. The UAE has been pouring resources into data centers and Arabic language models, and it's seeking deeper ties with US firms. The message: national AI strategies now include direct relationships with model makers. For builders in the region, watch for grants, testbeds, and public sector pilots. For everyone else, expect more regional variance and compliance requirements. Rapid-fire takeaways before we wrap. Compute is the moat, but delivery and power constraints will pace real-world gains. Benchmark timelines, not headlines. Multi-model is here. Run A/B tests across providers. Don't rely on a single default. Generative video is becoming social. Label and archive your originals to avoid confusion later. Copyright settlements are moving from theory to numbers. Track rights, sources, and licenses in your workflows. Robotics progress is steady, not magic. Look for reproducible demos and safety metrics. That's your week in AI and tech. If this saved you time, subscribe for our Sunday night roundup and share this with one friend who follows the space. See you next week.